Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today, driving home on a Tuesday. It is New Year's Eve. I'm going to be counting down with, I guess I was going to say Dick Clark, but he's not around anymore. It's that dude that used to be on American Idol, I think, who's going to host it. Check that out tonight. But last night was a little bit hard. I made a video tipping my hat to WWE and the USA Network for all those years of entertainment with WWE Monday Night Raw. But Monday Night Raw is now going to be moving over to Netflix. It's going to be a new era. Hopefully it opens up a lot of doors, puts a lot of eyes on a product. People who have heard about wrestling, or maybe people that used to watch wrestling, bring in those fringe fans to have it on their a chance to watch it. I know that a lot of people stopped watching wrestling when they cut the cord, and they went away from having cable television, and they were having to use the different apps and things like that. If they didn't get USA Network, if they didn't get whatever channel SmackDown was on, but before I got YouTube TV, roughly 2018, 2019, I want to say, is when I first signed up for YouTube TV after ditching Comcast for probably the second or the third time. I was able to get back into a routine of watching wrestling more. Last night was kind of hard to watch the last one because of the fact I was channel flipping back and forth between Monday Night Football on ESPN with the Niners going up against the Lions. That was a really, really fun game. As a 49er fan, I mean, the best game we had all year is when we beat the crap out of the Bears, and that's the Bears. But to be going up against a team like the Lions, who has a chance to win the #1 seed in the NFC, and to be able to go head to head with them until we made two costly mistakes in the third and the fourth quarter that we weren't able to come back on. After Purdy got hurt, Dobbs came in and he was able to score a touchdown to make the final score closer than it was. But that kind of gives credit to how people who didn't stay up, or people who didn't watch the game, they just saw the final score come across their phone, or people that saw the the headline, Lions beat 49ers. They really didn't know how close that game was, and we had them on their heels for 3 quarters until Purdy threw that one interception, the first one, and then even we were sticking with them, and then when we threw the second one, it was kind of like, oh shit, there's only 3 minutes left. It is what it is. But bad year, turn the page, as WWE is going to be doing with Netflix. Man, last night, the end of Raw, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. These are flat out two guys who just don't like each other. And, from the promo last night, the one real thing to stick it out is why they don't like each other. They're kind of picking that, like, CM Punk was a very popular superstar during his first run in the company, but the powers that be, sort of pointing at Vince McMahon, the guy's name that they can't say, didn't like Punk, for different reasons, whether, wrestlers were in his ear. There's always that story that, Undertaker said something to Vince about CM Punk, and then at Hell in a Cell, I think that was like 2008, Undertaker beats Punk in the opening match of the show in a Hell in a Cell, in just, there ain't no other way to say it. It basically was a squash. I know it didn't go that long. It was the opening match of the show, and Taker just beat him. There's always, stories of, Triple H saying this, that, or the other to make sure that Punk didn't get into a certain spot. Yeah, I don't know. He ends up leaving the company. Now he says he comes back. He likes the new era. He said, what was the quote he said? I I always liked the place that I worked. I just didn't like the guy who ran it. And that guy liked you a lot. Meaning that the reason Rollins was getting the push that he got for so many years was because of the reason that, Vince McMahon liked Rollins. I don't know about that one way or another, but Rollins did have that really, really long run with the title. And that was about the time that Punk wasn't with the company anymore. Or no, maybe hold on. When Rollins won the title for the first time, that was after, I don't think he was there. How about that SummerSlam? We went to LA. That's when Rollins fought Ambrose in that lumberjack match. And then he cashed in the championship at WrestleMania 31. Yeah, Punk definitely wasn't around. That was a year later. So, Rollins got that real long run with the title. And Punk wasn't there for it. He was sitting at home. Even he went back to AEW, and then he comes back there. But these two guys just flat out don't like each other. Rollins is basically saying that he's a locker room leader, and he's sticking up for all the guys that don't want Punk around because they think he's a bad influence and this, that, and the other. He's fighting to keep his spot. I don't know. I'm looking at this match like it's going to build to something else. Almost like there's going to be someone to come in and break this up, as in sort of a disqualification after they beat the hell out of each other, to sort of take them on a different direction. Or it hasn't been said that it's a number one contenders match, but there's a lot of people thinking that Punk is going to be going after Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know if they think that it's going to be at the Royal Rumble, but that takes one of the guys that a lot of people think has a chance to win the Rumble out of the Rumble. And you want to have as many names, you want to have as many chefs in the kitchen for that. You want that jam-packed full of guys. You want it to be hard to find ways to eliminate those guys, because you want that match to be as good as possible. Kevin Owens going to be going up against Cody Rhodes in a ladder match at the Royal Rumble. That sort of takes Kevin Owens out. Whoever challenges against Gunther, you got to be hoping that is either going to be able to do double duty. But then again, that's sort of like saying that Punk's going to lose the match to Gunther, because if he's World Heavyweight Champion, why would he enter into the Royal Rumble? So you're not going to be able to have him say it. I don't know. But, that's I really think that Punk's spot in the company is that, Punk is going to win a big match here and there along the way. But I think Punk is at the point in his career when he doesn't need to win to keep his spot. I think he knows that he is going to be as popular as ever, and still be a draw and still be a number one guy. I don't think he really holds that he has to win to keep his spot inside of the company. I think he knows that he's a made man, and it is what it is. WWE's not going to stick it to him and make him go on a Brian Myers losing streak. They know that they have to have him win matches on television and pay-per-views to keep him relevant. But I really think that Punk is the guy that's going to win this one. I know Rollins is kind of in the same spot. He can take a loss here and there along the way, and he's going to stay popular. And sometimes you sort of look at what's going on in WWE, and you're like, man, when was the last time Rollins won a big match? But I think that just shows you how good and how much people think of Rollins, that he's able to, go on these streaks of being able to lose matches and hold his place on the card. This is going to be a really, really big one. I think it's going to set up to see what's going down in the future, one way or another, win, lose, or draw for either guy. I don't think this war is over. I think it is possible to have Rollins versus Punk at WrestleMania, and that be one of the co-main event spots, if not even needed one of the main event spots. I think Punk going up against Gunther could be a main event of night one. And then you could have, Cody going up against Rock, or Cody versus Cena. Definitely, if Cena's not going to be going up against Cody, whatever night they want to use him, Cena's definitely going to be one of the, the main matches, close to the end of the night. It's definitely not going to be like a match like him versus Austin Theory that's just on early in the night, just kind of like filling some time. Cena's going to matter one way or another. So it's going to be fun. But I think Punk's going to win this one. Punk is my choice. Punk versus Rollins. Netflix debut on Monday. Count it down. See you guys.